do for $3,000, Tom?
Sounds great.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will. I'm a D&D sex icon. We're back today for another episode of Kult, Divinity Lost, and we're here. We've got a full cast and crew of us today, and we're answering the question: what would you do for $3,000? So, Charlie, how you doing today? And would you run through a maze with Tom for $3,000?
Do I get to wear clothes? This is a very important thing to check.
I feel like that's up to Tom.
Tom, call me. We'll sort out the details. I'm very excited to be back here and playing Kult today, and possibly making $3,000 running for a maze. I mean, I've done worse things for money. But yeah, gonna go deal with my demonic monster ex-mafia boss husband now.
Fantastic stuff. And FPS with the GF for 3,000, I'll know 800 shit. An isolated shipping yard full of rust. It contains a god knows what monster. Seems like a good place for a tear in the veil and wild magic surges all around. Love it, my friend, love it. Fantastic stuff. Lindy, how are you doing today? And $3,000, yes or no?
Yes. I don't even have the second close optional question. Like $3,000, that's yeah, let's do it. But yeah, I'm doing spiffy. I'm excited to play I almost said Catherine Jordan. Cassie Sue, Cassandra Suzanne Price. I've got a casserole. It's still warm. I have it in like little casserole containers because I'm a Southern, and I don't know, I haven't seen anybody up here with them, but every single person I know down south has like a casserole dish warmer that you can take casserole people's houses with. So I've got that, and I'm set. I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. Fantastic stuff. And Tom, how you doing today? How you feeling about the answers so far?
Pretty positive. Pretty positive. Clothing is optional. It is down to the person who wants to do it. So picker's choice. I mean, $3,000 just to run in a maze with me. That's a pretty good deal, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think that's a bargain. Yep.
Fantastic.
That's it. That's all I wanted to say. That's it. Move on.
That's all I'm here for. That's all I'm here for today. Really, it was just to pose that question in the green
Tom,
room.
Initial question: is
Yes,
Mr.
follow up.
Fibbles with us in the maze?
Ooh,
He's in the center.
Oh God.
I'm still okay with this.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Ooh.
Give me $3,000.
Ooh. Okay. I'm feeling uncomfortable because I would have to be there now, in the center of the maze, as a sock puppet. But Pruitt, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing okay. I guess I would do it. Sure.
I was okay.
I was a definite until Mr. Fibble showed up, and then I got triggered. So but yeah, it's great to be here. Great to be back. Can't wait to see what happens. See if anybody eats the casserole, because when we go to a party and Cassie Sue's casserole doesn't get eaten, she's not very happy, and that's not a euphemism. Back to you.
Fantastic stuff. And last but not least, Sam, how you doing tonight? And obviously the obligatory question: $3,000, yes or no?
Well, I would give you $4,000 to run in your maze, and that's my last offer.
So fucking dragons down in here.
I think I got the wrong end of the stick, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm doing great, ready to play some Kult. Was rowing a vampire for a project about vampires and role-playing games. I wonder what would that be. Anyway, back to you, Will.
Fantastic stuff, and thank you to FPS Monkey, who's just given Mr. Fibbles the nat 20 that I think he deserves after all of his work. Fantastic stuff. Well, I of course would certainly be there for the $3,000. I'd be in the center, dressed as Mr. Fibbles. Yeah, I'd be paying you $3,000 for that, I think, Tom. But before we get started today, I'll remind you guys of a couple of things. The first of which is, of course, we're sponsored here today by Kult Divinity Lost. If you want to check it out, go to their website. The link's in the description, running throughout the chat as well. We've been playing this fantastic game. I'll show you real quick here. So far. Oh my god, it's so heavy because it's so big. So definitely check it out. It's an awesome book. It's really a lot of fun, and we're having a great time over here for the past 7 or 8 weeks. So go check out Kult Divinity Lost if you have not yet. It's powered by Apocalypse, and it's great fun. What else? Our regular sponsors include FantasyGrounds.com, a virtual tabletop of choice. So go check out Fantasy Grounds on their website. Go download it for Steam later on tonight, actually, at 5 p.m. Eastern, 3 hours time. we'll be doing a one-shot of Zephyr, the tactical role-playing game. We're going to be using a lot of maps and tokens on Fantasy Grounds, so if you want to real sort of check it out later on. Tabletoploot.com, when we hit 20 retweets on this tweet, we'll give away a set of tabletop loot dice to you guys there in the chat. And of course, you can donate and cheer to affect the game as well by giving players Nat 1s, Nat 20s, Wild Magic Surges, and oh so much worse. And we'll get to rolling these Wild Magics here in just a moment and looking those up. But before we do a little quick recap of what happened last week on the show, the players are in something of a predicament right now. They went to go and find the shipping container that Mr. Fibble so very handily gave to them, number 66710. And in the dead of night, the group sort of peeled away into the darkness and went to try and find a shipping container. Jolene and Vincent wanted to get to it before the rest of the party, and ended up calling Joe, Mr. M, to ask him where this shipping container was. And luckily for them, he was in the area and opened up the shipping container from which he's been using as a base of operations and let them inside. He promised Jolene that he would uphold his end of the bargain to get back her friend, Donna, from the clutches of Miss Tiffany Reader. But he seemed to uphold his end of the bargain, but there was a little catch that if she wanted Donna back, she would have to come and have a private meeting with Mr. Magnolia. And Donna, found and safe enough, as one could be after having been turned into a human tree, was rescued by Vincent, while the rest of the party have begun to break their way into the bunker, and Jolene is now in the clutches of Mr. Magnolia. Along the way, we had some fun interactions with a closet and trying to get in through a door and not letting Jolene out of a door when they thought she might have turned into a doppelganger. But that's by the by. Let's start up today, in fact, by checking out these Wild Magic Surges and seeing what's happened to you guys in the moments since we left from last episode. So let's start with Thomas. Thomas, what did you get on your Wild Magic, my friend?
I got 9629.
Oh, nice and high. Somebody nearby finds a large cloth bearing a bearded man's image.
Did we just find the shroud?
Did we just have a banner of you?
Shroud of
Turin? Might be a
Turin?
Tom.
Shroud of Turin, maybe?
The Shroud of Tom?
Yeah?
The Shroud of Thomas, yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, good. We're about
Cool,
to find
that's
a...
not particularly useful, but thank you.
It could be. You never know in a game like Kult. It could be really useful.
Very true. It's very true.
Wait, does the banner includes Mr. Fribbles as well?
Oh.
No, Mr.
We'll see.
Fiddles is his own entity.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not bearded, to be fair, but maybe he'll grow a beard in his later years. Let's see. Jolene, what did you roll?
I think I rolled 2921.
If you are cut open, Jolene is found to be filled with gold coins.
Wow.
That is so on the money.
Oh, wow, okay. Jolene, you've been ferreting away golden
I
coins.
am golden
your
in and
bloodstream.
out, okay?
In and out, yeah.
Just made of gold.
She's the girl with the golden touch. Okay, Percy, let's see what you get there, my friend.
It's a classic one for me. 2013. My feet can't be burned by magical fire. So I'm not sure how that interacts with the fact that my uncovered skin is invulnerable. But maybe if I have my shoes on and I'm still burned by fire, that still won't hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
I like that.
redundancy.
Yeah.
Should we just give Pruitt invincibility now? I mean,
Just this at this
I
point,
have it.
at this point,
Yeah, I already have it. He's already gotten it. Let's see.
I mean, I just need to be
Cassie.
naked. Be in that league, naked and involved.
9073.
Everyone within 50 yards is suddenly holding an ingot of lead.
okay.
Okay.
That would come handy.
That could come in handy, an ingot of lead. And Vincent, have you rolled a D10,000 here? Else I can roll one for you, my friend.
Yeah, could you do that for me? Because
Yeah,
I'm afraid I don't
It's all good.
So-
I've got to hear 5205. Vincent believes that whatever he last ate was worth a fortune. Vincent believes that whatever the last thing he ate was worth a fortune.
God damn
Could have
it,
been,
that
could be
taco.
an ingot of lead.
I knew it was going to be a taco. I knew it.
Yeah, Vincent loves tacos.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, along the road, maybe you stopped at a gas station to pick up some tacos when you were going, and Vincent believes that is really worth a whole lot of money. Oh my god, fantastic! These wild magic surges. So, let's just remind ourselves of where each of you are. I believe that Vincent is headed up the bunker with Donna, and just ran into the other three, Cassie, Percy, and Thomas. And the three of you, I believe, you sort of met on the staircase, and the three of you are headed down, while Vincent is staying up with Donna. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that Thomas was actually making a run for Jolene.
I was, yeah.
Mm.
I was running down.
Yeah. So it's
Okay,
got
you're
a
running.
head start.
Okay. So Thomas is running through the bunker, and to remind you guys, we're in this sort of long staircase running downwards through the center of the Earth. You've entered it through the shipping container 66710, and the last you've heard of Jolene is from Thomas that she's decided to, from Vincent, is that she's decided to speak with Mr. Magnolia in private to uphold her end of the deal, and that's the last you've seen of Jolene at the moment. So we're actually going to start with Jolene while a group of you are trying to find her. And fake to 10 so go flags, yeah, my friend. Now, Jolene, you've just stepped into the darkness, and the door behind you has sealed shut. It's so dark in here that you can't. You can barely see your hand, 1 foot in front of your face. But you can hear the sound of Mr. Magnolia, of Joe stepping through the darkness. And he seems to be walking around you, circling you for a moment. You can hear his steady breaths and the sound of his shoes clacking on the floor. He circles you once, and then twice, and then says, "I'm glad you could meet with me, Jolene. I was hoping maybe we could clear some things up."
Like what, Joe?
Well, I was wondering, what it was exactly that made you disappear.
Well, you were awful busy with your friends. I thought I better just get on with my own stuff, you know?
No, I'm not sure that I really believe that. I think maybe you maybe saw something you shouldn't have seen.
I didn't see anything, Joe. Mm-mm.
Oh, now, we can be honest, it's just you and me down here. You could tell me.
Why don't you tell me what you think I saw?
Well, I think maybe you were confused. Maybe you saw something, you thought you saw something, but in reality it was just your mind playing tricks on you. Sometimes there are scary things. The mind likes to jump to conclusions.
Was very dark in the pool house.
Exactly. Sometimes in the darkness, the mind, it can play tricks on you. Starts putting together pieces that aren't actually there,
Mm-hmm. I never did like the dark. And she's looking around this dark space, trying to turn to catch up with his cycling pacing.
I know it is dark down here. I'm sorry, but sometimes I just think maybe it's best to just speak rather than see eye to eye. Because we don't see eye to eye on everything, do we, Joe?
I don't think we do, Joe.
You, for instance, well, you've been getting a lot of ideas in that pretty little head of yours for the past couple of weeks now. Been hanging out with the wrong sort that put those crazy ideas in your head.
They weren't my idea. I was looking for Donna.
Well, now you found her, so what's your plan from here, Joe? What's the next step?
Well, I had my agreement to meet you, and then I was gonna get in my car and go again.
Maybe. Well, maybe you're more aware of things than I first thought. Maybe you're aware of the coronation that's happening. And he steps in quite close. Would you know anything about that?
Is that some kind of casserole? You know me, Joe. I'm not that good at words more than 2 syllables. Like you said, I'm real easily confused. Not much more than a pretty little head. Nothing much in it.
What about those friends of yours? You ever heard anything like that?
They got some ideas about the statue. Someone wants
Really?
it for someone else, and Vincent, he's helping me now because we wanted to get to it first because I didn't like the idea of all this double crossing. I was very confused about who was helping who. I just knew I didn't like Miss Tiffany Rita none.
I don't like any talk of double crossing. It sounds like your friends might be trying to betray me again. Last time I had to shoot one of them.
They said you were looking for a gun, Joe. Kind of a golden gun. What would you do with a golden gun, Joe?
He steps in closer again. You can, like, smell his breath, and it's warm. Well, if you must know, a golden gun can take you places. If you know where to shoot.
What do you mean?
I mean that there are places that you can't see. Not with the normal eye.
A resplendent
And this
offering.
gun can get you there. If you know how to use it. If you know where to point it. And it might seem scary.
This is somewhere you want to go?
Somewhere I have to go. You see, Joe, I'm in this deep. Too deep, truth be told. Miss Rita, she's a powerful enemy. And if I give up now, then I'll be lost. I'll end up just like Donna did, probably worse. So I have to beat her. If I can beat her, then with the power I'll have, I can save myself. And I'll be able to save you as well.
What are you gonna save me from, Joe?
I think you might have some idea of what I'm talking about, Joe. Even if you don't really understand it yet, you must have been seeing stuff of late. Stuff that doesn't make no sense.
Like Tiffany turning my friend into a tree.
Exactly.
Like what was in
Now,
that pool house that you were about to tell me I didn't see.
So you're smarter than you let on. Yeah, stuff like that.
I guess I'm just kind of tired, Joe, and I just want to know what the truth of it is and why the gun and the statue and it's so important to everybody and who should win, you know? So I'm kind of confused now because you all sound real bad.
We are all bad, but what's that saying? Better the devil you know? How well do you know these friends of yours?
I don't know them at all, Joe.
And do you trust them?
No. I don't.
Well, you sure as hell shouldn't trust Miss Reader after what she did to your friend. And you sure as hell shouldn't trust me, but at least you know me. You know I'm not a good guy, but...
And what
I'm
about
not
the
the
others,
worst.
Joe? What about the father and whoever Percy and Cassie's friend is, and what about, I don't know, whoever else is in on all of this?
What about him?
You better than all of them as well?
I don't know. Maybe.
What about
Maybe not.
the other side that wants to stop it all? What about them, Joe?
They have their reasons, but so do I. It's like I told you, Joe. I don't have a choice in this. If I stop, they'll get me. Just like they got Donna. If I stop, then I'm lost. The only way is forwards. Now, I'm not trying to say that I'm some messiah, great guy. But I'm telling you, if I don't do this, then it's all over. For me. For us. No more second chances.
Why didn't you just marry the statue then? You had it, right, all along?
These things require timing.
What do you need me for, Joe? You're
I
all
need your help.
powerful and... To do what? Why were they making two of me? Or another one of me, anyway?
This is gonna be hard to understand, and don't get angry. But on the other side, where the Queen is, says things that get in the way. Trials, I guess you could call them. Challenges. They require... You can't lose yourself in there. If you lose your mind, then you're lost to the madness. You need a tether to the real world. And you... Well, you were gonna be my tether, Joe. And if I couldn't get you willingly, then I had to get a version of you, I suppose.
You sent that thing after me?
Yeah.
And you want to go to the other side where the gun could take you?
That's right. I have to.
And you just gotta fire the gun at something?
Tilda said, that's right.
And she's gonna pull the gun out and shoot it out the door. She wants to test it before she shoots it at someone.
Okay. I mean, it's dark, so I guess you don't see too much, but you hear the sound, the sort of low sound of the gun firing. And it is quite a muted sound. It's not like a crack of a gunshot. It's more... And you definitely hear something. It doesn't like ricochet off, but there's this sort of low, I guess like pulsing sound that you hear coming from the door. And at that point, Joe says, "What you got there, Joe? You gonna shoot me?"
No, Joe, I don't think I'm gonna shoot you. That's what you want, isn't it? You want to go over there? Do whatever it is you gotta do?
Are you saying what I think you're saying? You're gonna help me?
I guess maybe I am. Don't seem like I have much good choice, right?
Right. Okay, then follow me. And you can hear him walking away in the darkness. It's this way.
You gonna turn the light on, Joe? You just gonna keep walking me around in the dark?
Just follow my voice. It's best if you don't see it.
See what, Joe? I'm not moving until I'm not in the dark anymore.
Fine. And you see a little flashlight appear before you from Mr. Magnolia. And he sort of points it towards you. Is that okay? The darkness is still obscured. I mean, you can not really see too much around you, and your eyes take a moment to adjust, but you can't help but notice slight movement at the side of your vision in the darkness, as though gloomy figures are pulling themselves through it.
Alright,
Just don't look at
let's
them.
go then. And she's gonna reach out her hands looking for heads.
He stops for a moment and then takes it. Just like old times.
Something like that. And she kind of gives it a squeeze. Does his hand feel normal?
It does, yeah. A little cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Then she'll go with him. But she wants to keep the gun in the other side. She's going to put it back in the pocket with her hand.
Okay. And thank you to Jill Oden, who donated £30 during that section there. 2 Wild Magic Sodas for Mr. Fibble, 2 for the RV, and 2 for myself to distribute to a player or NPC of their choice. Thank you so much, Oden. Let's give one to Percy and one to Cassie Sue. The 2 of them, as we're going to cut back over there, and I'm going to roll some for Mr. Fibbles here.
And our RV.
And
Wait,
the
did
RV.
The RV got 2? Did I hear that right?
Yep. That's right. Alright, let's see if Mr. Fibbles, the next 2 from me will be for the RV. Okay, so let's take a look at So, Cassie, what'd you get?
8152.
Beautiful. Acrid fungus sprouts underneath Cassie and quickly spreads. Interesting. We'll get to that in a sec.
Okay. All right.
It's particularly acrid fungus. And Percy, what'd you get?
5171.
Nice. 5171. Ooh, you attract leeches, maggots, and slugs. You're just a leech magnet.
Sweet. I cleaned them today, in fact, at work.
I was about to say
Let's
which
see.
one's Cassie, and then I decided not to. But
Oh.
Okay, this is Mr. Fibbles. Mr. Fibbles has a secret name that, if spoken, causes him to race home. Interesting.
Why does that not surprise me?
Why is that not weird for Mr. Fibbles? It's a
Satan
safe
getting
word.
behind me.
Daddy Satan. And then his second one is 0866. Mr. Fibbles feels strangely calm while in the presence of dragons.
Okay.
Yeah, will come
Mr.
handy.
Fibbles
Go,
is-
Mr. Fribbles.
yeah, that's a useful one for this. And then for the RV, which is gonna be weird, 5205. The RV believes that whether he last ate, no, this is. Oh wait,
Yeah.
that was Vincent's one. That was Vincent's one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So 7747. The RV didn't need something. The RV's weapon turns inside out. What would be the weapon of the RV?
The engine?
The engine, the exhaust.
Yes.
That's probably going to
The
mean you've got a
front
broken RV.
thing? What is called? You know.
Yeah. And let's see. Well, they're all 3706 for the RV.
Real, yeah.
When the RV is angry, it turns bright green.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Turns into
So
the mystery
outside, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Meanwhile, outside is like one shot as the RV just begins to turn itself inside out and glow bright green. No one sees this at this point, but meanwhile,
You wouldn't like it when it's angry.
exactly.
Hulk's
Meanwhile, Cassie, you notice, and Percy, the two of you notice that underneath your feet, there seems to be sprouting from the ground this spory, fungus-like material which has leeches and maggots and stuff, and all sorts of sort of wet, snaily creatures growing in it, and they seem to be sort of moving towards Percy.
Looks like Mr. Magnolia's pulled out the welcome mat.
I declare that's rather disgusting. Perhaps
It
we
is
should
indeed.
move on.
We
before
keep
they get
moving
to
on.
know
Yes,
capital.
we gotta find it.
I'm sure that has nothing to do with us or the choices we've made.
Oh,
whatsoever.
I'm sure not. I mean, why would it? That would be absolutely absurd. Just absolutely. Just keep
So
going on.
you catch up with Thomas, I guess. And Thomas, you've sort of slowed as you've been running. Get to the room with the chair where Donna was previously, and there is this heavy door in front of you, which looks to be locked, sealed. That can be the only place that Jolene has gone to. You've examined it for a minute, a moment or so, and then you hear Cassie Sue and Percy coming up behind you.
Well, what have you found there, Thomas?
I found a big door.
You tried
It's
opening the door?
commonplace in most rooms.
I haven't. No. He tries to open the door.
It is locked.
Yeah, it seems to be locked. Is there like a keyhole or like any indication, or is it like a vault?
It looks more like a vault door, which is sort of concurrent with what is going on down here. It seems like it's pretty heavy duty, most likely. It doesn't feel like a nuclear bunker necessarily, but it certainly has that vibe of like a military bunker at least.
I don't suppose you have any idea how to get in here? I mean...
Well,
Indeed.
Try knock it.
Percy looks down at the gun, remembers the cell phone, like shooting it and it disappearing. I don't know. Perhaps. You think maybe if I shot it with this gun, the door would disappear?
It's
Like the
entirely
cell phone
possible.
did?
We haven't tried shooting it at like a wall or anything. It's been an inanimate object, so.
No time like the present. Thomas
I mean,
steps
I
back
have
and
that,
gives
or I
him
have this
a view.
mummified fist. It looks like a pretty strong fist. I don't know if it could punch through a door or anything.
Maybe
but-
knock on the door with the fist. See what happens.
Let's see what happens. And he'll go up and knock on the door with the fist.
Yeah, you knock on it, and with the fist actually just like moves through the door. So you go to knock on it, and your fist like goes through, and you can still see where your hand should be, but you sort of pull it out again. And you can
Oh,
push
maybe
it
we can
through.
just. Maybe it's not a real door. Maybe we can just walk through it.
I go up to the exact location that the fist went through and touch it myself.
It does seem to be solid there. It seems like the fist is interacting with.
All right.
This
What if we
differently
all
than your
hold
own.
hands and lead with the fist?
I try to grab
That's
Percy's hand.
just sound living advice, Cassisu.
Uh-huh.
I will insert the fist through the door first, and then we will follow through concurrently.
God damn it, chat, for giving them this. Yep.
Well, I'm just doing the best of what I can with what I've got.
It's an absolute slapstick moment. The group of you managed to sort of pull yourselves through with the fist. Yes. Yes, you do. On the other side, you notice that the door seems to have been. There's something strange happening with the door. There's a sort of like cool blue, I guess, field over the door, which looks as though there's something strange going on. That definitely throws off your sort of magic sense there, Cassie. The room that you've like pulled yourselves into, for lack of a better term, is pitch black. You can barely see, each other, and you're like holding one another.
I'm pretty sure I got a torch. Pretty sure.
I'll pull out my lighter since Percy's always smoking his pipe.
I flick on my torch.
Okay. You flick on your torch and take a look at the surroundings. You notice something strange immediately. It seems to you as though the room is moving. In the corner of your vision, and where the light doesn't quite touch, where there's still darkness and shadow, but you can just about make out something there in the darkness, it seems as though there are figures moving across the floor, across the walls, and across the ceiling as well.
Now, are these... So are they small figures? Are they like humanoid figures? I mean, can I tell?
They
Or is
seem...
it just...
It's difficult to say. You would say they look to be humanoid, maybe a little bigger.
Okay.
Well, that's quite unsettling.
Slightly
Perhaps-
disconcerting. I agree.
Perhaps if we open the vault, it'll be easier to run away should these attack. Is there a way to open the vault from within?
From
Can
this
we...
side,
Yeah. Like, is there the...
just unleash them in the world. Be fine. Just open the door.
How do you want
Open
to...
Pandora's
I mean, it looks
box.
like there's a mechanism to unlock it, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll unlock it. If I,
Yeah, it's it comes away very easily, perhaps due to this strange sort of blue field which is across it.
Alright. I guess we open this up, get some more light in here, and make it easier for us to escape if we need to, right? That...
Seems to you
So
as
can I
though the
make
figures are moving
things?
towards the door.
Or maybe we should just keep this shut. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is here to keep them in.
I mean, I don't know. I could try to get a sense of their Carillion auras, I suppose, if you'd like.
I mean, if they even have any auras, but go for it.
Well, they haven't attacked us yet, so I mean, I don't see why the harm isn't opening the door. Just letting them all out. But I'm sure he's got them in here for a reason. So
yeah,
I'm gonna try to do my to sense some auras.
Okay.
It could be a nice distraction, though.
Could be indeed. 12. So I think that gives me two questions.
Give mine. Yeah.
That I can ask. Yeah, let me get my exact thingamajigger. Okay. Yeah, 2 options. Obviously it's probably magical. Learn something about the creature's true nature. What are these things?
Okay.
What do they do?
They
Are
are
they bad?
from a different plane.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You also don't get the sense that they're particularly friendly either.
Oh, okay. That's great. I'd also, since they are from a different plane, they obviously have a magical nature of some sort. So I'd like to learn where the illusion is weakest towards other dimensions.
Further, you get a sense on that further beyond this room is where it feels weakest. It feels incredibly strong in this room in particular.
Okay. I'll relay that over to Percy and Thomas then.
Huh. So we make our way through them as quick as possible and get to the other area.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay, let's go. And
All right.
Thomas stopped heading through.
Let's cut back upstairs to Vincent for a moment. Vincent, about this time you've reached the top of the bunker again with Donna. And the doors are open. The RV should be not far outside if you wanted to reach that.
Okay, so Vincent is currently carrying Donna. Is Donna still unconscious?
Donna is still unconscious.
Okay, so Vincent is rambling about the taco he ate today and how suddenly he has like this piece of lead on his hand. Yeah, I ever told you about the time I ate like the $1 million taco? Man, that was crazy. Crazy, I told you. So Vincent's going to drop Donna on the RB and check for her vital signs.
So when you see the RV, something appears very wrong with the RV. It is green, glowing green, a sort of radioactive green, and it appears as though all of the things that were on the inside are now on the outside.
So all Percival and Cassie's possessions are outside?
It does seem that way.
Well, at least the casserole is not here. So I'm going to. Are there other options nearby besides the RB?
You did come in a car.
Yeah.
You did come in your own car, I believe, but it's a little further ahead. You could get there pretty easily. It's raining, but.
Okay, so I got 19 on my sixth sense, so I can tell if the RB is dangerous to me or Donna.
The RV doesn't seem dangerous towards you.
This should suffice then. Excuse me, Miss Donna, but this will have to do for the time being because right now I'm in the middle of an emergency. I would really like to go and help your friend. So you should be fine, right? And he gently pats the RB. Are you okay, big boy?
The RV sort of begins to hum, a low sort of engine-like thumb. It's almost like a purr.
Okay. this should be good, I guess. So Vincent is going to rummage through the possessions to see if there's anything that could be used as a weapon right now.
Do you guys have any weapons usually within the RV?
Besides the penthouse collection, of course.
Right.
In my occult books, I imagine like Cassie's got this really.
Well, that was private information.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
I imagine Cassie's got like some kind of weird ritual occult dagger.
Okay. Yeah, you might spot a dagger then, I think.
I can do magic spells. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
not that thing.
and Percy has a I mean, if you're looking for a weapon, Percy does have a sawed-off pool cue, like next to the front seat. It's just like, you know, a good 2 feet of the thick end of a pool cue.
Okay, this should suffice,
That's best
I
I can do
guess.
for you, sorry, man.
Vincent holding the dagger would be like totally not the strangest thing, I think, today, so this should work.
Okay.
It probably has the
going
same
to...
symbol on it too, the dagger.
Oh, did Vincent already see the symbols? Because I remember you guys being a bit protective about it.
I think by this point he's caught a glimpse of it at least.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Vincent is going to leave Donna in the Hulk RV, and he's going to head back as fast as he can towards the bunker.
Okay. Yep, you leave Donna behind. She'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
one of the things that excuse me.
Go ahead. No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
one of the things that has as a goal right now is kind of watch out for the safety of Jolene, because last session he kind of made a promise, and he kind of got his world rock when he saw Mr. Frivels talking for real.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of
Gotcha, yeah.
holding Jolene as some sort of symbol of at least something that makes sense.
Yeah.
In this world.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
He's rushing towards the bunker then.
Cool. Okay, you rush back down towards the bunker. Jolene has come back to you. Following the wan light that Mr. Magnolia is showing you and holding his hand, you come through into, you feel yourself passing through a door, and you come through to a room which is softly lit with a sort of red, dull glow to this entire room. It feels like a sort of grand chamber. At the end of the chamber, there is the statue that you've seen before. And Joe sort of turns off the light and closes the door behind you. Well, this is it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's her. And you see this statue once again, quite angelic, this depiction of this woman, but you notice that her face does seem sort of twisted and distorted, as though she's sneering somewhat. And again, the statue is huge, 10, 11 feet, right down the end of this room. And it looks, in this light, particularly menacing.
Jolene's gonna pull the gun and shoot it like she was told to.
Okay. You pull out the gun and fire towards the statue. Immediately, everything around you begins to change. You feel yourself falling. And it's similar to a dream. It's similar to a dream in which you're sort of falling through the sky, I suppose. You feel the ground fall out beneath you. You see Mr. Magnolia disappear as you fall through what feels like the earth, but there's just air all around you. It's dark. There's no lights, and when you land suddenly on your feet on in a dark street. At the end of the street, there is a lamp post with one light, with the light on, and one figure underneath it. You're not sure which city this is, but it certainly seems quite strange to you. Looking around at the architecture, the buildings are far too big to have been built for people. The doors are several feet too tall, the windows too long. The figure at the end by the lamppost is too tall. Sort of elongated arms and very long legs. And it strides away into a house that disappears from sight. It's raining slightly, but the rain is green. If you can see it, it's not a trick of the light with the lamppost. It does seem as though this rain is an entirely different color. And when you look up into the sky, you see that the sky is awash with stars and bursts, streaks of fantastical light.
Jolene is standing there in shock, and as she watches this rain fall, she holds out her hands to kind of let the water pool in her palms, and as you say, it becomes more and more clear to her that the rain is actually just green. Is there any other effect to having the rain touch her skin?
The rain it doesn't feel wet, strangely enough. The water like plays across your hand, but it doesn't sort of run across your hand. It holds its form as though it were a different material, and just sort of slides off your hand, leaving no residue behind.
She's gonna slowly walk over towards that lamppost, drawn to the light the way she always is. Is the gun still in her hand at all?
The gun is not in your hand. And strangely, when you look at the light, an eyeball where the light bulb should be, which is glowing bright, looks back at you.
Looking around, looking at the eye, actually, does she get a sensation this is someone she knows looking at her, or is it just strange eye?
You don't recognize the people staring back at you, but the eye does look surprised, sort of widens in shock that you're looking back at it.
And I think in a full panic, she's gonna call out for Mr. Daedalus, just yell his name into the dark. Because she did what he asked her to do, but he didn't tell her about this next bit. And she doesn't know where she is or what to do.
Yeah. You see a figure approaching from the darkness as soon as you call out that name. It's the figure of Daedalus, approaching from the darkness and through the green rain, wearing his long coat. And he looks surprised as well. Moves closer towards you. Jolene, you made it here.
I did what you told me. I think he's gonna kill me now.
We're not gonna let him do that. Okay, now that we're here, we have to be careful. Now, tell me, where are the rest of your friends?
I don't know. Vincent here was taking Donna up to safety, and the others were on their way, but I don't know where they were.
Okay. It might be best to remain in numbers in a place like this. If they come through, it may be best to find them for your own safety.
Where are we?
We're
What
on the
is
other
this
side
place?
now.
You didn't tell me we'd be anywhere.
Well, this is it. This is where we are now. It's strange. We're not on Earth. Not your Earth. Just try to think of it like a strange country that you found yourself in. Maybe that will help. Things aren't the same here. Things are how they truly are. And it's very
I guess
dangerous.
I'm not in Kansas anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess so. Now, let's get inside from the rain, and if your friends should come, bring them here as well. It's not safe for anyone to be out here alone. Come on, I have a place.
Jolene is gonna follow his lead, but in the pit of her stomach is that regret of, I should have just helped Joe. This is all kinds of fucked up and wrong.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, on the other side, the three of you, Cassie, Percy, and Thomas, are moving through the darkness with those strange shapes that seem to be pulling themselves through the gloom. You come to a door, which isn't locked, and you can feel the handle turning easily in its place, if you wish to open it.
I open the door.
You see a statue, the same scene that Jolene saw of this red-lit room with the Queen. There's no sign of Jolene or Mr. Magnolia.
Is
I
that
walk
the
over to
statue?
the statue.
And well, hold on now, Cassandra. Let me make sure of something right quick.
All right.
And by the way, Will, I rolled my bound thing earlier, and I got a 15, so I get 3
Sweet.
options. So basically, I just want to like ask the inheritor, and he just slowly pulls his hat off. Is this what you seek? And he'll just kind of fold
hear them?
inwards. Yeah.
Yeah. You hear the voice say,
Yes. Bring it to me.
Why should I?
Because I told you.
All right. Need to have a conversation later.
All right, dear. Whatever you say.
and around this time, because Vincent's been fucking sprinting down the stairs, you hear, maybe 30 feet behind you, the breathless panting of someone running through the darkness.
Oh, keep running, Vincent. Just don't look to your sides. Just come towards my voice and pay attention to nothing you hear in the darkness. Cassandra, that is, in fact, what we need.
What do you mean about not looking into the dark? I mean...
Well, you start staring into the dark sun, and it starts staring into you.
So Vincent is going to do something a bit weird, and he's going to check if he's got reception on his cell phone. And I guess we can decide upon that.
I don't
We can
think
worry
we
about
do.
that later.
We're,
Pretty sure we don't.
we're underground
we're
in
in a
ways.
bunker.
We're literally like deep
We're like
underground.
4 stories underground. I don't think there's cell reception. So,
Guys,
good, Vincent. You made party.
you're not going to believe what I just saw. Says Vincent holding a ritual knife with the symbol that you guys have tattooed.
Where did you
like-
get that?
Your
that's fine.
RB was totally was like tripping balls, dude. He was like,
Excuse me? What do you mean?
Did you
Do you mean to say that you were tripping balls looking at our RV, or our
no,
RV?
your RV was glowing green. I think it might be that casserole, that goddamn thing that you guys have been
Casserole
carrying
would not have
around.
done that to the RV. Look, casserole's fine. You want
I
some?
mean,
Thomas, is that
Yeah.
like something that you agree with. I mean, I feel like a bit alone here against.
I mean, you're saying that the RV tripping balls.
Yeah,
that-
what's
is
green?
I thought he said it flipped. I thought somebody flipped it.
Yeah,
Oh.
and also, you know,
Wait, is it on its roof?
It's weird,
I mean,
but I get this feeling that the last taco I ate, it was worth like $1,000 million or something. But anyway, since Vincent
Unlikely.
waving the dagger,
Depends on how
I thought
hungry you are when
Vincent,
you eat
your
it.
RV.
Yes.
What's Mr.
That is in that is in our RV. That is my bag.
Vincent,
Where-
are you
where is he?
stealing from our friends?
So you went
Oh,
through our
well,
stuff.
yeah.
Disappointed in you.
Actually, it
Vincent,
was
I'm very
outside
disappointed in
your
you.
RV. Well, it was glowing
So
green.
someone else went through our
Well-
stuff, Percy. How rude.
So somebody,
Guys.
somebody turned our RV, like they stole everything. They threw everything outside. I'm trying to come to terms with what you're saying here.
Yeah, maybe they were like searching for that taco I ate. But anyway, where's Jolene?
I
Why
think
are you
Lindy's been
doing
trying to
that weird
touch this
stuff?
thing for the past 10 minutes.
Is anyone stopping Cassie Sue from going to touch it?
No.
No.
Oh, the angel! Oh my god!
Yes, we did find it.
Okay, as soon as
I want this goal that I've had since the beginning to be crossed off.
as soon as Cassie touches the statue, you all find yourselves falling. Suddenly, the ground beneath your feet falls out beneath you, and all of you are no longer able to stand, and you feel yourselves falling, and then suddenly you land on your feet somehow, although it feels impossible given the way that you were falling before, and find yourselves on this dark street corner with rain, a lamppost, and two figures walking away in the distance. The sky is a strange myriad of colors, and the rain appears green to you.
How do I feel after like being told just touch the statue, just do it, and then I did it? Do I feel complete? Do I feel?
You feel as though a
I feel
part
like there's
of
more
you,
work to do.
which was sleeping for a very
Uh-huh.
long time,
Oh,
has suddenly woken up.
awesome. Well, that was refreshing.
I think I'm dreaming.
I feel like
Oh.
I've woken up. Honestly, I feel
No, we are not. We're not dreaming, my good man. Trust me on that.
But every time I dream, I fall. And I fell, so therefore I must be dreaming.
you can have a fall without dreaming. Have you never fallen down a flight of stairs?
I mean, yeah, well, of course I have.
I mean, I did
It's
that
just-
2 days ago, so I mean,
it's a different. I mean, we fell for a long time, like just dropped, and then we just,
mhm.
you know, and the rain, and I just feel like I'm asleep. You know, like
Well.
this is a dream.
Well, I feel quite awake, so if you want to just sleepwalk over here,
Why do I
I gotta
sure we
get
can
find
keep on
feeling-
going.
I gotta find something to control it. That's when, you know, lucid dreams, you know, I can control them. So I need to find something. And Thomas is gonna look around for something, anything that kind of sticks out, like the clock was in his
Speaking of
dream.
which,
He's just gonna stop
Vincent,
wandering
can I have my dagger back, please?
Wait a moment, says Vincent, pointing the knife in a totally casual way, not like
yeah,
like
yeah, not like that.
you know, like
Or
he's
like,
holding a
wait a
pencil.
moment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wait a second. Why do I get a feeling that everybody here is like accustomed to this except me?
Because
What is,
probably everyone here is accustomed to this except you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean-
so
I mean, it's
you mean you guys have been here before?
not here before specifically,
Well,
but I have
I
dealt
don't
with the
think so.
cult on several occasions. Many.
We have
Lots,
we have
frequent
dabbled on
occasions.
on sticking our toe inside on the other side of the veil before, but maybe
Mhm.
not so wholeheartedly as we have leapt into this.
Quite thrilling.
I haven't. As
So
he's on
Vincent
his
is
knees
kind
looking
of
at the grass.
scratching his head with the dagger, and he points the dagger at Percy. Mr. Percy, what's the deal with that symbol in the dagger and your forehead? Cassie's neck thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a neck, but well, that is the symbol of a friend, so to speak. But then again,
Like Mr.
sometimes friends
Bibble.
can turn on you, keep you out of certain conversations. That's fine. Anyway, friends are friends, you know.
Go with Percy.
And some
with
you
it,
make, and some you form bonds with. And that is the thing. Is we have found a friend who has been there for us in the past and has helped you on more than one occasion.
Mm-hmm.
By
Trade
the
on
way,
more than
Thomas,
one occasion.
everything here strikes you as strange. The
Yeah,
lampposts are
Will.
too tall, the buildings are too big. Yeah,
How those two figures that are in the distance? Does one of them look like Jolie?
could be, yeah.
Thomas gets up and starts running towards him, and goes,
Oh,
"Jolie!"
there he goes. There he goes.
Well,
Alright.
all right. Well, we should follow, I guess.
From Miss Jolene, and Vincent starts sprinting away, totally forgetting about giving the dagger back. He's like, no, can't hear you running with the dagger.
You know, you really shouldn't run with
You
sharp
shouldn't run with
objects,
this sharp object. Yeah, thank you.
especially in the rain. They don't know the
Not
cost
slipping.
of insurance. They're not there yet.
They don't have to deal with it. Kids these days.
You guys catch up with
That's why we never had children.
Jolene and this other figure. You, as they hear you coming, you see that it's Daedalus, the man that you met yesterday.
Mr. Daedalus. Fancy
Hi,
seeing you here.
Daedalus.
Vincent?
Good.
Hang on. Didn't you disappear? Didn't you Jolene say you?
Yeah, you disappeared.
Where'd you go?
I came back here.
Oh, where is here?
Let's call it the other side.
Of the veil.
Oh, of the veil.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Miss Jolene, are you okay? Where's Mr. M of Magnolia? That
He's somewhere
I
else
don't
around
know.
here.
How did
He's
y'all
in the
get
cell.
here, Jolene?
I followed Mr. Daedalus's instructions.
What were they?
Yeah, I didn't know he gave you You just said he disappeared, Jolene. Are you keeping things from us?
No, we had a talk while we were waiting. Told me when I saw the statue what I had to do, and I did it.
And what was that? Did you touch it?
That's right.
I
She
shot
touched
it.
Oh, you got a gun?
Jolene's got a gun.
He doesn't look super happy about the fact that you told him that.
Mhm. I had a gun.
Interesting.
You had a gun. He looks to Percival. Does he still have the gun?
Do
No
I still
gun.
have the gun?
No gun.
Well, son of a bitch.
Oh no! You really liked that gun, Percy. I saw how much it meant to you. I am sorry.
Wait
Well,
a
it was
second,
more,
Thomas.
I did like the gun, but the gun, she loved me, and that was the most important part.
You still got your Mr. Fibbles in your pocket?
I put my hand in my pocket. Is Mr. Fibbles still
Mr.
there?
Fibbles is no longer there.
No! I check every pocket. Mr. Fibbles is gone. My friend's gone.
Well, if
Somewhere
this
down
was
there.
like one of those alien films, I would say check for the air ducts. But since we are in a city inhabited by apparently giants and no fucking idea where we are, I said we
We're on
run
the
with
other
Mr.
side.
Daedalus.
Essentially, what's happened is that anything that doesn't truly exist where you are actually has a home here. And now that you've brought it back, it's gone back to its home. So they're still here. It would just take a bit of finding.
Jolene, you got the rock I gave you? Sorry.
She'll reach into her pocket. Is the rock in there?
No.
Great.
Wait, is my fist still here?
No.
Oh man, that means my hair rollers are gone too.
Oh, they were almost done setting too.
They were almost done setting. And now
Was this
Frizz.
your plan all along, Mr. Daedalus, to bring everyone to this side? Joe and Mr. Fibbles and whoever else it is. Is Tiffany Rita running around here as well?
She's here. I'm sure of it. But no, else I would have given everyone instructions. But seeing as everyone's here, I'm sure we can find all of your things.
I mean, why are we here?
Well, you came through, presumably.
Well, yeah, to find Jolene and to get her away from her horrible husband. And now we found you. We can leave, right?
We're here to help a friend.
Yeah.
I'm afraid we
that's
can't
why.
leave yet.
I mean,
Why?
it's a selfless act if I've ever heard of it.
Well, Thomas, you see, the thing is,
Yeah.
it's kind of the end of the world here. But someone's got to try and stop it, so... Seeing as you're here, maybe you could lend a hand.
I mean, I'll have to check my diary, but I'm pretty sure I'm free.
You don't have a diary, Thomas.
It's so true, I don't have a diary. I've always wanted one, but I don't.
I'll get you one if you help out.
Well, I mean, this would be a good time to start one. If you help save the world, then you could write it in your diary.
I could.
Wait, it did.
Day one,
can-
saved world. That's a good start.
There
to
you
a
go.
diary.
That's a great start.
Only place to go from is up.
Yep.
The end of the world.
So, seeing as we're here, I have a place that I'd like to take you all to. It's safe, but lingering out here on the streets is not a good idea for much longer. So
Okay,
I can
let's
explain everything
go.
once we're inside. Good.
Sure.
I'd love to hear an explanation. Sounds fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wouldn't we all?
Daedalus leads you through the streets, which seem at this hour to be almost completely empty, other than a few large lurking figures that you spot from the corner of your eye on an abandoned street under a lamppost every now and again. And it
Do
seems
they look like those
to
shadowy
you,
creatures?
They do.
Okay.
Same long, sort of elongated arms, elongated legs, and pulling themselves through. Occasionally, you'll see one of them reaching up to a lamppost and pulling out the bulb, playing with it for a moment, and then putting it back in place. So you have no idea what they're doing that for. Daedalus doesn't mention it, and dives into a side alley with he walks almost at a jog, so it's kind of difficult to keep up with him. Eventually he turns into one of these corners in the alley to a door, finds a set of keys which have hundreds of tiny keys on his keyring, finds the right one instantly, and opens up the door into what looks to be a basement. It's large enough, this basement, but not particularly comfortable looking for actually living in. Kind of smells sort of damp and dank inside. There are a variety of strange looking objects lying around the place. Some of them look like they could be weapons, others more esoteric in nature. And he lets you all in, slamming the door closed behind you. Turns on a few lights which flicker on, and invites you all to take a seat anywhere in the room that you'd like. Feel free to make yourselves comfortable. We might be here for some time.
Thomas sits down.
Vincent starts looking around, seeing that anything caught is his attention.
Vincent, can I have that back, please? You really shouldn't also run with it.
Pays absolutely no attention to Cassie.
So rude.
Very
So
rude.
really
That's
neat.
it.
So really neat.
Miss Cassidy, do you need me to be a knight right now?
Only if you feel like it, Percy. I'm sure he'll fall asleep sometime.
That's very true. And then Percy just sits down and smokes his pipe.
Daedalus offers you all a drink. Something strong, maybe?
Only if it's stronger.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what could go wrong? Stranger in a strange land.
I mean, he could poison you.
Inebriated.
Listen,
Nah,
if
not
I want to know
poison.
you're dead, there'd be 100 ways in a way here to have killed you.
Oh, I know. I don't think he will poison you, but he said what could go wrong, and, you could.
He just likes throwing out answers to theoretical questions sometimes.
Right. Okay, I'm just gonna take that as a yes. And he pours you all drinks. Says, this is the other side, I guess. Some call it Elysium. And it's what certain interested figures are trying to bring about for the world. I'm hoping you all have at least a thin grasp on the idea of this veil.
Yeah. It's kind of like a curtain between two worlds.
Very good,
So,
Thomas.
why did Thomas and Percy and Cassie were familiar with this side of the veil?
I'm not.
Well,
What's
certain
good?
humans have an understanding of this sort of thing. There's knowledge out there if you know where to find it. If you have, in
Okay.
particular, someone who's willing to tell you. And he looks towards
Mr.
Cassie and Percy.
Mr. Fibbles told me about it. And everyone else.
There you go.
Oh, come on, Vincent. I'll tell you everything you need to know. Only costs you my girlfriend's dagger.
Oh, you mean this? Oh, totally. Have it, Cassie.
Thank you, Vincent. I'll just tuck it in to her belt pocket.
I don't like weapons anyway.
Not rather partial to them, but this one has certain ritual circumstances associated with it.
Sure, Mr. Daedalus. Daedalus. What?
Daedalus.
Daedalus. What
Anything.
exactly are you?
Does that matter? Really?
I mean, I
No,
guess
but
it kind of does.
but-
I mean,
just for the sake of curiosity.
I'm a friend of Jolene's. I'm trying to help out here. And I'm trying to
whoever's
stop the bad
sorry.
guys.
Well, who's a friend of Jolene's is a friend of mine.
All right. So we're here in the city, and at this point, now I suspect Mr. Magnolia is, and no doubt Miss Rita will shortly be on her way. At the heart of the city is the Queen, but getting to her is also not easy, and trying not to lose yourself along the way in the city is also part of the challenge as well, but whomsoever should get to her first will be crowned. And that's when, the all hell breaking loose situation is likely to come about. So that's what we're trying to stop here.
You mean that all interested parties in this coronation plan to bring the end of the world, except you and your associates, if you have any, besides us?
Correct.
Okay,
And-
I'll take it.
My associates, there are less and less of them nowadays. So,
I'm sorry.
kind of last of a dying breed.
Joe said he needed a tether so he didn't lose himself. That's what I was meant to be.
Well, I suspect that will still be the case, even though he's not here right now. While you're here in the city, he'll be able to draw upon you as a well, I suppose, of memories of keeping him grounded as to who he is. There's not much we can do about that.
Can't you send me back?
Not without killing you.
Oh.
That would be
That is
bad
a
for your
drawback.
health.
That's
Coming
something.
through
So
the other
how-
side is often a terminal condition.
How long are we gonna stay here then? Wherever this is.
We have 10 days.
So we had to stay here, right? 10 days.
10 days to find her.
Right. And then what do we do when we find her?
Well, on the 10th day, when we found her, then we get rid of her.
What, you mean we gotta kill her?
Yes, Thomas. She must
Oh.
die.
Right. Okay.
Does
okay,
she has a name?
Pandora. Or
Really?
Queen.
So we're going to kill Queen Pandora.
Alrighty then, but
That's,
how we...
Gist of the plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how exactly do we kill this queen? It's like... I mean,
How do you kill
you
anyone?
can just use... Well, you usually use bullets.
That could work. Yeah.
We know
Here,
we have-
everything lives and dies in a conventional manner.
Oh,
Do we have access to weapons?
Yes, we do. But so do they. And I suspect that Mr. Magnolia and Miss Reader also have their allies here in the city who will be trying to stop us and one another.
Hmm.
You saw
So it's
those
like we're
creatures
all-
by the lampposts?
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Those are the eyes and ears of the operation. They're spies. We'd do best to avoid them at all times. And any lights.
Any lights.
So we go in darkness.
So it's
That
like
would
we're
be
running
best.
around a fun house with twisted mirrors and darkness, and we're all racing each other and trying to kill each other. Right?
It's got a fun house
Something
for
like
a
that.
reason.
The
Captain
father
Q,
does
you and
have a
I
sense
got a
of
great
humor.
deal of difference in our
That's
idea.
Father?
That Mr. Fibbles are yours? Remember when I, Well, I told Jolene some of this, but, yeah, he's quite heavily involved in all of this. He's the, I don't know, rules keeper of this whole realm.
Oh.
He created
Well-
a part of it.
Well, maybe
Interesting.
if I talk to Mr. Fibbles because we're friends, that he'll let us go.
I
He's
don't
not going
think
to
you
do
really
that,
want...
Thomas.
Oh.
But
I don't
speaking to
think
him may
you-
not be the worst idea.
Do we know
You
where
really
he-
gonna like how Mr. Fibble looks here.
Where's Mr. Fibbles?
I don't know what he
Does-
looks like.
Doesn't matter what he looks like. Okay.
It can take
There'll always
any
be a
form it
spot
wants.
for you.
So what's the plan? What do we do in terms of how do we get any leads regarding the job you just gave us?
Well, it's not so much a job as it is
An obligation.
an obligation to the world, yes. Well, I suspect that both Miss Rita and Mr. Magnolia have a much better idea of where to find this queen than we do. They've got agents here. They've been getting ready for this for quite some time. And Jolene here is Mr. Magnolia's Tever, which means that he needs her alive.
Oh.
So, I say, what if we were to draw out one of his agents? If Miss Jolene here were in danger, he would know of it and send help. If we could spring a trap on some of his agents, we could learn something from them.
So you want to use Jolene as bait again? You seem to be pretty fond of doing that.
She makes
Work
good
last
bait.
time, didn't it?
Yeah, look at him.
Mm-hmm.
The other idea, of course, is that the light posts, the eyes.
Yeah.
We could use one of them,
I like that
but
idea
that's
better.
dangerous.
In what way do we use one of them?
Dangerous is Thomas Middle's name.
Well, if you
Middle
look
name.
into one, you can see their network, I suppose. You can see
Ah.
things in the city that they can see, but they can also see you. and it might take something from you. So,
Like what?
Interesting.
Very.
Well, I think that we need to think on this, get a good night's sleep,
agree.
and come back in the morning and try and figure something out.
Yes. We can start brainstorming.
We
Is
have been
it
up
like-
that late.
Is there
Hey.
a morning in Elysium?
kind of. Yeah. Either way, it is best that you get some rest. The longer you're here, the more it's gonna be a drain on your resources, both mentally and physically.
Interesting.
So I have some beds you can use. I don't really sleep, so I'll keep watch.
Oh, well, thank you, my good man. Or whatever you are.
Where are the beds? Are they all like in the same room, or are they in different rooms?
Yeah, they're
Oh, I
through
hope
here.
not.
He opens another door in the house, and there's a couple of rooms with sort of cots in them. It's not much, but it should do.
Thank you.
And Mr. Daedalus, if I could have a word with you in private, and he'll kind of like glance at Jolene, and then kind of lead him away.
Certainly.
At this point, Thomas is going to go over to Jolene and offer her to head into the bunk, and he's going to kind of stay close, but more of a kind of like looking out for her kind of thing.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Jolene will go with him, but she'll take the bottle of whatever was being used to decant the drinks out with her.
Vincent is going to. Are there like any windows out, to look
Yep, there are
outside?
windows, yeah.
So Vincent's going to like scan the area and try to get like a feel of where are we standing in terms of geography, I guess.
Sure.
And if
I mean,
there's any.
you can't make out a great deal of the street. It seems like you're in a back alley, and this is one of the many buildings in this alleyway.
Okay. Okay.
Percy, you've pulled aside Daedalus, and he sort of sits down in a private room with you. What's up?
I was wondering if you had maybe a little information on where I could find somebody here.
Maybe, yeah. Who'd you need to find?
I'm looking for the current residents of the Inheritor.
Ah, now that makes sense. I'd sensed something under both of you. You in particular.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that so?
Well, I know exactly where you can find the Inheritor. There's an antique store not too far from here. All sorts of oddities and curios. It's said that he runs it. I've never been inside myself.
Well then. Perhaps I should pay that a visit soon.
I'd be really careful about doing that. I'd have to be real certain that I wanted to go inside if I were you. I'm sure you got your
well.
reasons.
Well, I mean, man makes a deal. Man's not quite certain about that deal. Maybe he wants to renegotiate. So, I figure it's best to be a man, look him straight in the eye, and tell him exactly what I feel.
That's one way of going about it, I suppose, yeah. The way I understand such deals, well, it's called the Inheritor for a reason, I suppose. It's a deal for life. Perhaps even more.
Interesting. Well, we shall see, won't we? Once again, thank you. Do you have any information on where these guns would show up?
I bet that
I have a feeling mine is missing me. Oh, he might. So I have a feeling mine's missing me something fierce.
I think that might have been part of the whole inheritance deal. Now that you're over this side, you know, technically you're dead. So
interesting.
I mean,
Thought there'd be more fanfare. Oh well.
Oh, I'm sure there's something real nice happening on the other side for you right now. Yeah.
I'm sure they're impounding my RV as it is. It's probably raining fire down on those assholes. Anyway, well, I'm gonna go have I'm sure, a nice, restful, peaceful sleep.
A word of advice
you
before you go. There's only one thing that I think that inheritor might be afraid of. And that's your sock puppet friend. The father.
Interesting.
Worked a little
Well, thank
less.
you.
Have a good sleep.
Evening.
When Thomas brings Jolene and he sits Jolene down by the bed, he's going to sit in a bed opposite her, and he's going to kind of play with his hands and look down, kind of like, you know, like a child wanting to talk and say something. He's looking really awkward, and he Jolene,
Yes, Thomas?
This might sound odd, but could you tell me what I was like before? You know, when you knew me.
You mean when we were growing up?
Yeah.
Well, you moved into the house when you were, I don't know, 6, I guess. A scrawny little thing. But then I was pretty scrawny too. You like to take things and hide them under a floorboard near your bed. The other children's cars and things. There was this one car, it was like a little truck. It's all aluminum, silver, and chrome, and you took it and you hit it, and late at night I could hear you. You were in the room next door, in the boys' room, and you'd be rolling that thing backwards and forwards over the wood, and just hear that all night. And sometimes, when you think no one could hear you, you'd make the little horn noise. When we'd go out to get groceries, you ever saw a truck, you'd wave your arm at it, try and get it to do the horn. Sometimes you'd tell me about funny nightmares you'd have. Didn't really make much sense to me then. Not much has changed, I guess.
He tilts his head slightly.
We went to a summer camp one summer. Some sort of local initiative. And it was one of those camps with a lake like in the horror movies, and you refused to get in. You said the fish were gonna eat you. So I jumped right off the dock and pretended to drown. And then you came in and helped me out. And then I tried to drown you a little bit, and you were convinced the fish weren't gonna get you, and we had a good time.
Was I like a good person?
Yeah, you'd share lunch if someone's lunch money got taken. You'd give them half of your tray and kept an eye on everybody. Used to count the kids when they came in from playing in the street, make sure everyone was home. That kind of thing.
I don't remember any of that. Not
You
one
don't
memory.
remember any of it?
No.
How could you forget all of that? I went to therapy for a long time and I didn't forget any of it.
I don't know. There's just nothing.
What
thank you.
happened 10 years ago, you said, right? That's when it all went wrong?
I don't know. The earliest thing I can remember is waking up in the middle of the street, and it was like I was born again. I had to relearn everything, which was quite difficult. And there's just nothing before that moment. Nothing at all.
You were still at school when I left the house.
I don't know. I don't know what I did after that.
After that, you call me sometimes and you tell me things, and things didn't sound like they were going too good for you, but I don't know. I guess I was afraid to help. Or I didn't know how to help.
Well, I mean, you had your life and issues yourself. I mean, I'm sure you were busy and, had to get your life in order. But,
I thought if I shot the statue, it would all be over, Of course, I didn't think about the fact that I was still holding Joe's hand. Didn't think about a lot of the things.
Well, I mean, when you're in a very dark room, when you're supposed to shoot a statue with a golden gun, and your ex-husband is a crazy person right next to you, I think you can be forgiven for forgetting a few things. It's an awful lot to take in.
Thomas, would you believe me if I told you something?
Sure?
Even if it sounded crazy?
Sure?
And she takes your face in her hands and she says, "You can't trust Mr. Fibbles. Can't listen to anything he says. He's a liar."
Mr. Fibbles has been my friend for years.
I know, but you said you believe me. Gotta believe me. He's not a good person, Thomas, and you want to be a good person, right? He's not even a person. He's some kind of demon god. You can't trust him.
Okay, Jubilee. Okay,
If you
stop
have
listening.
the power to make the rules, that means you're a cheater. We don't play with cheaters.
Right. Yeah. Unless we're the ones that cheated and then we win. Right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, okay. I won't trust Mr. Fibbles again. I won't.
And you gotta keep me from trusting Joe, okay?
Sure, I can do that's easy. I can do that, no problem. I'll just remind you what an awful person he is. Nice and easy.
All right.
Anyway, you should get some sleep. I'll be awake a little longer. Not a fan of sleeping that much.
I remember you woke me up last time telling me you were dreaming about golden guns.
Yeah, that's right.
I
I actually got control of my dream. I know how to do it now. It's a bit difficult and very, very scary, but I was able to do it.
Alright, and she's gonna take a gulp of that alcohol and then pass you the bottle. And she's gonna get comfortable, although she's not really tired. Her brain's on full worm mode.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do before everyone goes to bed tonight?
I would like to speak with Daedalus.
Okay. Yeah, he's got his own little room that he seems to be just up late drinking in. Hey, Vincent.
So, Mr. G, what happens if we success? What exactly is going to happen?
then nothing changes. At least for another 100 years.
What about us?
Are you asking me if you're all gonna live?
Yeah, I'm asking. Yeah, I think that's fair to ask, isn't it?
That's a fair question. I don't know. The longer we stay here, the worse it's gonna be. You have to be here for 10 days. When I told when I told you that it would kill you if I sent you back, that's not the whole truth. I mean, there is a chance it would kill you to send you back. But the real truth is that if the longer you stay here, the worse it gets. If I were to send you back now, there's maybe a 20% chance that you might be dead.
You know, when I started on this journey, I believed that it was my duty to actually tell the world how it is. But the more I see it, the more I wish I could. The more I know how wrong I was. So if, getting this thing done means that there will be 1,000 years of silence regarding all this crap that's going around, sure, I live a good life. The only thing I regret is that my pet spider probably is going to be dead.
I'm sure someone would look after it.
A pet spider? I mean, seriously.
That's true, that is weird. Even for this place, that's strange. But I'd appreciate it if we left that little detail between the two of us. I think it's best for all here to make sure this goes down the right way.
Sure, I mean, nobody cares about spiders anyway. Jolene probably doesn't like them, and Cassie strikes me more as a homunculus girl. But anyway, another thing, so this is what's waiting for us all once we're dead. We're dead, and this is it. We just relocate to gigantic city.
Maybe. Yeah.
What do you mean?
This isn't the afterlife, as such. No, but seeing as you're here, I guess you could think of it like the afterlife. It's possible that you could survive in the city after all of this. If you survive the confrontation with the Queen, then I suppose you could live here. But it's a lonely life.
I imagine.
What's happening here?
Andy, how exactly did you arrive to this? I mean, are you one, like, endless, all-powerful entity?
No. Certainly not all-powerful, certainly not quite endless. No, I started off, I suppose, a little bit like yourselves. I got lost here. I had something to do. And once I'd finished doing it, I realized that this place needed someone like me.
So you mean you were mortal like us?
No. At one point. Now I'm something more and something less. Once this is over, though, I think that'll be it for me.
Oh, you mean you're going to kill yourself?
Thought about it. But this is too important, so maybe once this is done, it'll be time to...
And then who will keep an eye on these things besides you? There's more like you, right? Oh boy. I was totally afraid that you were going to say that. I mean, I can keep up goddamn spider will feed a spider, and you are asking me to look out on the veil between reality and whatever this is, Elysium.
Gotten this far. That's further than most. And yeah, maybe I had a ulterior motive for keeping you guys around. Maybe one
Dude.
or a couple of you would want to fill in my shoes once I was gone.
Dude, I'm a Scorpio. I'm not suited for this kind of job. But whatever, I guess. I mean, it's not like things could get any worse. So yeah. Ah.
Well, I'll consider that an application to the position.
Oh yeah. You can mail my letter to Hogwarts in that flying rat bat thing they use on
I
that
don't
Harry Potter movies.
I don't know what any of that is, but sure.
Sure.
Not flying rats.
All right. Get flying rats. So yeah, well,
problem.
since we are going to play it on a high stakes thing, I guess that the best thing at least would be to, keep Jolene out of the risky situation and actually, try to steal one of those eyeballs. I guess this plan will go well with Thomas as well, which seems invested. But Percy and Cassie,
Yeah, well, seems like they got some of their own problems to sort out. Some kind of intermarital demonic possession thing going on there. Seems like a whole thing. I'm sure
oh
they'll
yeah,
figure it
that
out.
happens all the time. That's why he never got
Right.
married. So one last thing, and I guess this might come out of the blue, but I ate this really, really valuable taco earlier today. Is that going to be anywhere in this city? I mean, if after all this I got an eternity to kill,
Maybe. Never say never. If it was a really good taco, maybe it is here. Maybe that's what you could spend some time doing.
yeah, sure, everybody needs a hobby. Anyway, can I have a sip of whatever you're drinking? I think I need something.
Sure thing. He hands you the drink.
So Vincent's going to grab the drink and say, "Oh, where it is? There it is." To Gabriel, the pet tarantula that hopefully will never have to see this side of reality. Cheers.
I'll drink to that. Eventually, I guess Vincent heads to bed.
Yeah, exactly right after drinking.
Okay. And Cassie Sue, there was like a maybe moment where I was asking people if there's anything they wanted to do before.
I don't think she does anything major. I think she just kind of being on the other side of the veil it's a bit of a big deal for her. And so I think she's just going to kind of spend some time waiting for Percy to get done talking in the room with the beds. And just kind of read through her book a little bit. Just meditate a bit.
Does Percy mention anything?
To this moment.
Well, Percy, after talking with Daedalus, would come in. Well, you finally made it.
It's quite exciting. It's a little different than I expected, but, one can't
Yes.
expect everything.
Exactly. You never know. You look through the curtain, you see one thing, you walk through it, it's something completely different.
Happens on occasion. That's why we live in an RV.
It is true. Have to walk through a curtain every day.
Mm-hmm. Did you have a good talk with Mr. Daedalus? You found out anything interesting or new that we didn't know?
Oh, yes. It's just maybe where I could track down this gun. Said there's like an antique shop around here somewhere that we could look up.
How delightful. We love antiques.
That we do. So I think it's quite perfect. We should go there tomorrow.
I agree. Maybe we can find some other interesting tidbits while we're there.
All the tidbits. Place like this, you can learn anything. You never know.
I think that's quite true. You never know what you might learn here. But we should get some rest, as we have been up quite a long time. So,
That we have. It's about time to turn in, my dear.
I hope you have better dreams on this side of the veil. And she'll give him a peck on the cheek.
Oh, most certainly, my dear. Thank you.
Sleepy time happening.
Sleeping time.
All right.
Oh, I'm a dreamer. Do I want to suss anything out in this dream world on the other side of the veil? I probably should. Try.
Let's see. So I need to. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna roll.
Yep.
Plus 0. I'm sure this will go well.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it's not bad.
It's not terrible. So an 11 means I am tormented. You make a move. -1 on rolls once I get back. Wake up. But the nightmare provides you insight into the truth. Or you're forced to process some trauma. Keep together when you wake up. So it appears that the dice are telling the exact story that we were thinking.
It sounds as though Mr. Fibbles spoke the truth.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right.
Cassie's gonna try to meet up with the inheritor in her non-nightmare dreams. So.
Okay, so we're gonna go with Cassie Sue first of all. Let's see what she does.
That's not great, actually. Let me see. That's real bad. Oh no. That's really bad. I didn't think it would go that poorly. Am I sure it's a +4? Yeah, it's a +4.
Let's do some math.
I am lost in the dream and cannot wake up until I find my way back.
Fantastic. That works
Yep.
perfectly.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, perfect. Look,
Okay.
great.
So Cassie Sue, you fall asleep
Yeah.
and
Looking for the
actively
inheritor.
try to dream. Yeah, dream
Yeah.
of the inheritor while you're here on the other side. And as you dream, you find yourself walking through the streets endlessly, aimlessly. Every now and again, you see a lamppost and you head towards it. Maybe you'll try and avoid it just as some kind of landmark in your head. But all of the streets dark here. There's no sun whatsoever. The sky is just always this strange sort of neon reds, blues, purples, and greens which filter across it. And it's always raining this soft green water-like substance down across you, and you cannot find anywhere. And you become panicked. You become to worry that you can't get out of this because you know it's an all too real possibility that you could get stuck here for eternity. Until eventually you turn a corner and you see a tiny little, quite quaint looking antique shop. In the window, the sign says that we are open, and through you can see into a dusty looking interior filled with old oddities and objects.
My panic turns to pleasant surprise as she truly does love antique stores. She's always loved antiques. So she will just walk on in. It's familiar territory to her.
Yeah. You step inside and a little bell rings, and you hear someone bustling from behind a counter, and then appearing, and you see a very ancient-looking man wearing a set of old, musty, dusty-looking clothes, glasses at the end of his nose, somewhat hunched, with great sort of lines in his face from the age. He's standing by a big book which looks like a ledger on a desk, and it looks as though he's using a stool to get some extra height as he's sitting at it. And as you stumble into the shop, the warmth of the place begins to fill you with a slight comfort. As you look at this old guy, you feel a little comfort as well. He smiles at you. Ah! Cassie Sue! Come on in, come on in. I was wondering if you might find your way around these parts sooner or later.
Well, it's a charming place you've got here. Just try to brush off some of the rain that I'm sure got on her. And just walk into the antique store. How is it that you... Are you the inheritor? She remembers that Percy said he had an antique store.
Why, yes. Here you are at an Inheritance Antiques. And I'm the runner of the store, general manager. You can call me whatever you like, or the inheritor.
I'm honored to meet you. She kind of just gives a bow.
And a pleasure to meet you as well.
I never thought this day would come when I would be, well, in a dream, but so close, so face to face.
Yes, well, you crossed over to the other side, and things are more possible here than they are where you come from. It's rare that I see one of my disciples make it this far. You are truly something else.
Couldn't do without Percy.
Well, I suppose that is true, isn't it? Does he know yet? I assume he hasn't found it out.
He doesn't know the exact particulars of... he kind of forgot them, and I just haven't... Just seem ashamed to enlighten him with all of that potential trauma.
I
Rather
see.
traumatic experience. But at least he didn't disintegrate like the other two, so, you know.
And how many years has it been now? Remind me.
10 years now.
Well, it's about time. You see, the truth must come out sooner or later. Tonight's the night. And there's nothing you nor I can do about it now. I'm afraid Father has his mind set on the matter, and, well, there's not what we can do about that now.
I see. Well, working on getting that statue for you. It's here it's in the center of this kind of maze of a city. Put my hands on it and it brought us here. Is there anything specific you need me to do?
Well, yes, there is. And that's why I asked you to place your hands on the statue for me. Well done, by the way. I have a reward for you for your services rendered. But there is another task. I'm sure you sensed it. You see, now touching the statue has brought you, two of my disciples, here. My key players, my best. And as I'm sure you're aware, everyone else has their agents here as well, and we're all vying for a certain seat on the throne. Now, I wouldn't be so presumptuous to assume that you yourself would want a seat there.
Of course not. That is not my place in this world.
True enough. Whoever sits there would be in, well, very close to the ire of our queen. Very dangerous position for one to seat themselves in if they're not ready. But if there were someone else whom we could place there and remain at a safe distance ourselves, why, that would be magnificent. You see, while I am within both of you, I hold most sway within Percival. I need your brains, your expertise, your powers here, but Percival's strengths are not even known to himself. How would you feel about him sitting on that throne while we reap the benefits?
I don't entirely know how I feel about that. It is certainly an interesting prospect. Learning all sorts of new things whilst I'm here. You do not want
You
the
see-
throne for yourself?
Well, of course I do, but you see, I'm rather busy here running my shop. And
It
as
is
you know,
busy.
I prefer to work for proxies rather than put myself in an untenable position that I would be locked to. No, much better that I have sway with the throne
I see.
while remaining aloof to the, let's say, dangers that seat would bring.
What kind of dangers does that typically entail?
Well, firstly, there would be nothing left of their mortal form, which for me would be a real shame. They would be wholly hers, Queen Pandora's. You see, the coronation is more than a formality. It really is swearing one's service to her and to the realm. I'm not in a position right now where I can make that sort of commitment. But I have noticed that Percival is unwed and would be a suitable bachelor. Of course, the rewards for you for making this happen would be incalculable.
I see. Fascinating. Well, I will have to see what I can do.
Cassie, I understand that you have grown fond of him, haven't you?
Well, of course I have.
Fond in the manner that only humans have the ability to make attachments. You love him.
Yes.
That is truly moving and complicates things. Your love for this mortal would make it difficult for you, would not you say? For you to do this.
Few things in life are easy.
True enough. But let me tell you, Cassie, that once we have control of the throne, we have the ability to create and bend material itself. I could find you, make you another, one perfectly suited for you. He would move, breathe, act, feel the same. And you would not be lonely. And he Well, he would not be angry at his existence when he found out the true nature of it. You see, when Percival finds out tonight, which he will, do you think he's going to be very understanding?
He is a man very set in his ways, though his eyes do wander sometimes. He has fits of upsetness. He typically gets over them fairly quickly.
Typically.
Sometimes
But
a little longer.
This isn't a typical situation, is it, Cassie?
Not entirely.
Well, I don't think he's going to understand at all.
Well,
So what I'm offering you, Cassie, is what you have right now for all of eternity. Because what you have now is about to be splintered apart into 1,000 tiny little pieces that can never be repaired. Would not it be better to place Percival on the throne and to create a new one, a better version of him?
how attractive is this queen?
Oh, she is hellfire and brimstone.
In like a hot kind of way, or in a kind of way?
Cassie,
Curious is all.
you must overcome this weakness of yours if we are to be successful here.
I do get jealous from time to time. I typically don't act on it, though.
Do you remember the deal that we made?
I remember most of it. There are some particulars that I think have become fuzzy over the past 10 years of the ritual.
Well, let me put it this way. If you were to not follow through on this plan of ours, I would ensure that you never saw him ever again. You would be alone forever.
It's true. We are, all three of us, bonded. I'll do my best.
That's not good enough, Cassie. I need you to tell me that you're going to do this. That you will place Percy on the throne. And give me the power that I need.
Cassie's face just goes on a whole, emotional journey. She thinks about just the past 10 years and everything that's led up to this. She thinks about how pissed off Percy's probably going to be in the morning. And the deal that she made. I'll get him on that throne.
It's for the best. And just think, the past 10 years that you've spent with him will be an eternity once he's there. This much I promise you. Well, maybe you'd like to stay a little longer. I imagine going back doesn't seem particularly like a good option right now.
This is a fascinating antique store. Would you mind if I just looked around a little while?
Take as long as you need.
All right. Thank you.
Now,
She'll just awkwardly go off and look through the antique store.
Meanwhile, Percy, you have
Yes.
fallen asleep here, and I'm going to need Lindy for this one, actually. So, Percy is about to dream. He's about to dream a dream. And this dream is the events of exactly 10 years ago to the day. When first you made certain that Percy encountered the Inheritor.
Mm-hmm.
So, feel free to set the scene for us here, Lindy, and we'll play the scene out.
Well, I think the scene is we frequently went to the coffee shop for dates. And I think this time, though, that was maybe like a holiday weekend, so the coffee shop was closing early. So I got our regular orders to go, and we'd be sitting at a table in the back of my antique store, which is named Mystic Relics and Rarities. And they'd be sitting there in the back sipping coffee, and they've been hanging out for a few months now, and she fancies him, but she also thinks that he might make a good candidate, so she'd be sipping her coffee. And so, like I was telling you, I dabbled in some of that, you've probably heard it, referred to around here as, voodoo, the occult.
Yes. I've heard others speak of it. I've never really got in for that, but I have noticed that it does pay more, so I am interested in money. So I will listen.
It not only does it bring money, but it brings power as well.
Power? What do you mean, power?
Well, what do you think? I mean, haven't you ever wanted to, I don't know, be in charge? People do whatever it is you want them to do. See through things. See the truth behind things.
Well, I am self-employed, so I technically have done that. I don't really fancy a boss, so I don't know. That has given me a certain amount of power, I would say. Power of my own domain and destiny.
Well, I mean, there's only so much power you can get, though. I mean, the real truth. Haven't you ever felt deep down that there's something else, something bigger than you?
Oh, well, and at this point, it's pretty obvious that Percy is misunderstanding what Cassie's talking about. But, well, I mean, it's been a while, but I've often felt that in the past, that there's something more, connection to something else.
Haven't you always wanted to be, I don't know, haven't you been curious at least about how you could become a part of that, be something that other people look up to because of your stature, standing, and power, wealth, and money? Things that come easier to you than other people.
Well, I mean, I would say that anybody has had the dreams of grandeur, things of that sort, at one point or another in their lives. So I would be a lie if I said no.
Well, what if I told you that dreams of grandeur don't have to just be dreams?
Well, I mean, I don't dream that much anyway, so,
I dream
what
all
is
the
this
time.
you speak of?
Would you like me to show you?
Well, sure. I mean,
All right. And she'll kind of, I imagine she's one of those small businesses that kind of like the upstairs is where she lives in, and like the downstairs is the antique store.
Right.
So she'll lead him upstairs, and head over to the bed, but pull a big old book out from underneath like one of the pillows, and be like, "See, this is one of my best, most lucrative purchases that I've received." Flip to a few pages. So you got all sorts of rituals in here. You got, curses. Basically, what voodoo dolls kind of do, just make people a bit less apt to interfere with you. You've got, blessings, and then here is a ritual for basically make all your dreams of grandeur come true.
And what is the catch?
Oh, the catch? Well, the catch is you don't really have a boss per se, because again, I am self-employed myself. You've seen my store. It's more of a connection to somebody, kind of like a relationship, so to speak.
Oh well, I mean,
Gives you someone to
we've only got
bounce
coffee
ideas
3
off.
times, Cassie. I mean,
Well, sometimes things move a little faster. You don't always have to move slow. I mean, we aren't getting any younger.
I don't. I don't have that much time left.
Well, if you'd be interested, I could show you a ritual, then maybe we could, Looks like it's raining outside a bit. Maybe you could just stay the night.
All right.
All right. And
I
she'll go
suppose one ritual can't really hurt now, can it?
No, that would be silly. And she walks past like 2 urns over a fireplace, of like the 2 previous people she tried the ritual on, and walks over to a little box, pulls out some incense and stuff, kind of lights some things, kind of draws a chalk circle on the floor, on the hardwood boards, and saying, "Now, all you need is a little prick." She pulls out a dagger.
Okay, just gonna let that one go by.
Sometimes you gotta let that stuff fall.
Yes, no, I don't think I'm your man then. So. Anyway, so he presents his
tip.
thumb.
All right. Percy's like, let's get this thing done, and we can, that's the bed's right over there. And Percy's like, okay, ritual. So she'll take a bit of blood from each of them and smear it onto the symbol of the dagger, and then puts the dagger in the center on a symbol that she's carved in the floor. And when she does that, the symbol on the dagger traces in a bright light, and it, at the same time, a symbol appears on her neck and Percy's forehead as this blood has been deemed worthy. Cassie had a feeling that as the 3rd child, the 3rd generation of the same name, this might have, and the 3rd time trying this ritual, it might have some semblance, some meaning, some numbers, some math behind it, and it would seem that that would be the case. There'd be a bright kind of flash of light that just kind of comes out through the room, and the inheritor would basically consummate the deal.
I like this one. I like it a lot.
Oh,
I thought you might.
Cassandra, who is?
That's the inheritor.
I didn't know it was going to be that kind of evening. But what is he part of the ritual?
He is. I told you there was cosmic power beyond us. This is it.
Well, I mean, it just seems to me that you're calling him by name when you could have called him by name earlier when describing the deal.
Most people don't believe you until they see it for themselves. Tell me you would have believed me before now, Percy.
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I still didn't believe you while we were doing this. I thought it was just your way of stoking the fires, but,
Enough talk from the man. This deal. Do you accept my power, Cassie? Through this vessel.
What? I think I should have a say in this, don't you think? I mean...
All that is yours will be mine. All that is mine will one day be yours. Say the words. Seal the deal.
And she'll kind of take Percy's hands at this, like she's excited about this. She's got such joy on her face.
And
all
he
that is
starts to
mine?
pull his hand away.
all that is mine will be yours, and all that is yours will one day be mine. How, Percy?
So just somewhat, you're having a go at me. This is just a joke, right? It's just.
Oh, sweetheart. She kind of puts a hand on his face. Don't worry, you'll see. It's gonna be fantastic.
Okay, well, this has been fun and all, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just, if you don't mind, I don't mind the rain a bit. It's get a little wet. It's fine. And Percy starts to try to like get up to leave.
I think though, as Cassie says the final words though, and there's like that pause for that conversation, and then another bright light flashes out as Percy stands up, and the deal is sealed, and Percy kind of probably collapses as he is the physical vessel for the inheritor, and I am the embodiment of his voice. He is the body, I am the voice, and so it's a bit rough physically, I'd imagine, and he'd probably just pass out. And
Well done, Cassie.
I never thought this day would come, to be honest. Quite pleased with the
This
result.
one will serve us well. I will see you again in 10 years' time.
And with that, one more flash kind of happens, sending Cassie Sue a bit dizzy as the voice fully comes into her. But she'll drag Percy into the bed to kind of just get him some rest, because he's gonna need it after that. And she'll do some cleaning up of the ritual, brush the chalk off the floor, clean up, and then get some rest herself. And the next morning, Percy remembers pretty much none of that.
The next morning, Percy, you wake up.
Oh,
See Cassie next to you. Must have been a
well,
good night.
my dear. Oh,
Oh, good
Hit
morning.
that ritual wine a bit hard. Was there wine?
Not exactly, but there was some strenuous activity involved.
well, I wish I could remember it.
Oh, you don't remember?
Well, I'm ashamed to say, being in the position that I'm in, such an admittance is certainly ungentlemanly. But I don't really remember. It
Don't
was raining
worry.
and it was coffee.
It was magnificent, and I'm
was a
sure we'll
ritual.
get to repeat it again and again and again.
It was a ritual. Yeah, we did the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Does the
Get
ritual just
stronger?
give me a headache, or is that?
Oh.
Is that just-
That's probably you took a little fall.
oh,
I think all the blood rushed out, and you kind of passed out a little bit, but it was fine.
wouldn't be the first time. Okay. Yes. All right. So what's the next step?
Well, I believe that we should work together. You have your business, I have mine. Why not merge the venture? You were saying all
Well-
kinds of things last night, Percy.
I do. Well, I believe that we have an accord. Perhaps we should consummate this partnership.
I quite agree.
And Percy, you watch this scene play out as though you were a fly on the wall. And Percy, who's dreaming, sees all of this. And you remember, for the first time in 10 years, it's not just seeing it play out that sort of makes you believe it. It's that your memories return, and you remember that night and the voice which spoke to you 10 years ago, and you wake up. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode of Kult's Divinity Lost.
Damn it. Okay. Whew.
Get to stew on it for a whole week.
Yeah, no, I was like building up like a fervor, and now I have to like deflate that. Damn it, I was accessing some memories there. I shouldn't have done that. All right.
Oh my god. Well, my friends, that is where we're going to end the the game for tonight. But we are going to be picking straight back up from where we left off next week. And of course, we're going to do our sort of end game chat here as well. 10-15 minutes of just XP spending and new goals and all that good stuff. But that was a big one. That was a fun one. Glad we managed to get that scene in there, and it really was the perfect moment. These guys are now in Elysium. They're now through the veil, most definitely, and things are only going to get crazier and crazier from here. And I think we've got 2 or 3 episodes left in the season before we get to the end of this coronation here, and things are really starting to up with these stories and these characters. And everyone had a really, really great moment today, and I really enjoyed it. So let's go around the cast and the crew. Let's just do some XP stuff straight away. Did anyone hit any of their goals for today?
I completed a task for the Inheritor. Yes.
Yeah. Vincent, what did you do?
Well, I think I helped Jolene, actually.
Yes. Yep. And personal your task.
Well, I certainly learned the truth. And then my other one that I've had forever, pull a heist. Technically, I did pull a truth heist against Cassie, but that's just weaseling for the point. So I completely understand if that's not...
I think you might have a chance when you go and meet the Inheritor to pull off a little heist.
All right, well, I'll keep it around for another week then.
Keep it around for another week. Fantastic stuff. And let's see, General...
Well,
yes.
I have a question. I technically didn't have any goals set except for steal a pirate hat, which we decided in the green room before we went live. Would shooting the statue with the golden gun have counted as a goal if I'd have been sensible and actually set goals?
So gold Daedalus kind of gave you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you did cross to the other side. And you did, I guess shooting the statue would have been a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have, like, if I'd have gotten to choose a goal, I would have set that as a goal, like,
yeah.
Jolene shoots the statue with the gun. Okay.
Yeah.
As long
By
as
the way,
Will,
Will,
happy with that.
I did
Yes.
one of my goals as well.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Talk to Jolene about their past.
Cool. Yeah, you definitely did. Yeah. Of course, you had that whole scene. Yeah, that was a good little scene. Fantastic.
And I'm going to get rid of my second goal to get a new one, because it's confront Damien about dreams, and I don't think I'm going to see it anytime soon.
You never know, but yeah.
I want to get rid of that one.
Okay, we'll replace that in a second. Let's do the 3 main questions. Have we discovered anything new about the truth? Yes, I would say that we have.
Oh yeah.
Just a minute. Have we learned anything new about our characters? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And have we challenged ourselves?
Yeah.
Totally.
It was a pretty challenging episode. There's about to be a pretty challenging set of decisions for people. A challenging scene going on for sure.
Cassie's feeling conflicted.
Yeah. That's gonna be great. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that to play out. Intense.
Can't wait
fantastic stuff.
For it to blow.
He's gonna be working himself up the whole next week, ready for Wednesday.
I'll get fired from my job next week on Tuesday.
Wait, Lindy will message.
Yeah.
Lindy will message, and for it would be like, what?
I'm
What
method
more
as
do you
fuck.
have to say to me?
Oh my god. Fantastic.
I'll be like, I made you a casserole.
Made you a casserole, damn it. The casserole,
baked with the
casserole
truth.
of lies. The
Casserole
Yeah.
of lies. Just layers of lies by omission. Just...
Yeah.
A casserole bets are cool. Cold, actually. Sorry, English.
You got it. No, yeah, that was. Oh man, fantastic stuff. Well, let's go around the cast and crew. What do we think of tonight's episode? Did we enjoy ourselves? Where can we find you? Charlie, how was that tonight for you and Jolene?
Wow, I had a lot of like things in my head about what I wanted to do with the golden gun, and I was like, I want to make it super cool. And I was like, Jolene is freaking the fuck out. Cool is not in her brain right now, and I think she's still very confused about whose side she's meant to be on, and just kind of flipping backwards and forwards a little bit between old allegiances and new ones. And she feels a tiny bit of betrayal that she shot the statue and life didn't go back to normal, and she's now in this hellscape. But you know, we all make mistakes, right, Cassie Sue? That was a lot of fun. I loved getting to talk to Tom about the past, and I adored all of Vincent's scenes. It's one of the funniest things about the show is watching Vincent interact with anyone, especially running around with a dagger in the rain. Highlight. I can't wait to see Percy and Cassie have their confrontation next week. Can't believe you did a dirty like that. Will cut us off there, but also excited for Wednesday.
Oh,
In
good
the
times.
meantime,
Good times. Yeah, go ahead.
if people want to find me, I am usually all over the place. You can check out my pinned tweet, designed by the wonderful Laugh Love Lindsay, incidentally. I will be back on Encounter Roleplay on Monday for some Inquisitor as I catch up with the team after the Space Marine onslaught of this week. Super excited for that. And yeah, I think that's the next time I'm around. I'm very excited.
Fantastic stuff. Oh boy, Lindy, that was a whole thing. I think it's fair to say.
We've been sitting on that for a while now too.
Been that one for a while, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I got lost in this stupid dream, and so Percy's gonna be so mad when he wakes up, and he's gonna be like, "Why won't she wake up?" I just like it was. She's not looking forward to waking up, but being just the fact that I rolled so poorly that I'm just gonna be like KO'd when he is so livid at me. It's just make it that much better, and I'm so excited and terrified. That was a blast. Nervous about that next week. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. It'll be something. But you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, where I play and NGM a lot of tabletop RPGs. On my channel specifically this week, we have both my once a month games, Alien Blade Runner mashup on Friday night at 8 Eastern and 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning, Teenagers from Outer Space. If you want to see me with my impulse buy of a lot of fake tattoos, come check out my Black Roses Bloom tonight, where I'm gonna be tatted the fuck up.
Fantastic stuff. Wow, thank you for the 23-month sub. Holy moly. Fantastic stuff. I was actually going to be playing with someone this next game here. But Tom, man, good episode for Thomas. He found out a little bit more about himself.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. I mean, I've had that for quite some time. And the problem is trying to find a place that it gets quiet enough to actually have that conversation. And I thought that... that would have been the perfect place. And I mean, it's completely ad-libbed, by the way. Well done for Charlie just coming up with all those things on the fly, because I kind of just put the question to her without even telling her it's coming. So it was really nice to kind of set that scene and see what kind of child Thomas was and their relationship. It was really nice and sweet, and it was a bit of happiness for Thomas, but he doesn't remember a single thing of it. So it was kind of like a sharp cut off. It was sweet, and he doesn't remember. So it's kind of tragic. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to how all the characters unfold, and very looking forward to Percival's reaction next week. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. I'm going to get some popcorn. It's going to be amazing. I'm Redundant UK. You can find me online, pretty much just put in Redundant UK, you can find me. Currently at the moment, I think this is the only game I'm playing at the moment, so I'll see you all next week.
Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Pruitt.
Yeah.
We know what's coming. Has it come sooner or later?
Yeah,
Here it is.
yeah. Like in my head, I had the ritual going differently, and like Percy getting a lot more angry during it. But I like the fact that he was still in kind of disbelief when it hit him. That means he's never had a chance to properly be angry about it. So
Right.
this is going to be good. I'm going to spend the week watching like Jack Nicholson and The Shining, Jack Nicholson and like Few Good Men. Get some good like monologue, like yelling scenes rocking. So we'll hey, it'll be fun. I can't wait. This is the shit we live for here. But yeah, this is an awesome session all the way around. Everybody, it was absolutely spectacular, and I can't wait to see how this all shakes out. Maybe Percy will end up on the Golden Throne. Who knows? Yeah, I'm Pruitt, one half of WebDM. We have our videos on YouTube every Wednesday. We do D&D tabletop RPG advice videos. This week it's Rules is Written. We're giving it to you raw, so go check that out. And I also have games there on Tuesday and Thursday. And actually, we're starting a new game on tonight. We're doing a Blades in the Dark game on WebDM. So come check that out if you're free. I can't wait to be here on Friday for some Dread action. And, of course, back next Wednesday to find out just how much going to get yelled at. Oh, one last thing. On Saturday, going to be in the Spy game over on Tales from the Grim. It's all the old Call of Cthulhu cast together again for some spy action. So if you want to see the old gang back together, let's see how we do as a spy team. But yeah, can't wait till next week, man.
I think the Spy game just hit funding on Kickstarter as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It sure did.
Fantastic.
It
Very
just
exciting.
it's a gay original goal.
Fantastic stuff. Love
I mean,
it.
stretch goals, right?
Yeah. Stretch goals for days. Fantastic
For
stuff. Sam, how was that tonight for you and Vincent?
Oh, it was great. I just love you all, you guys and gals. I have so much fun. Sam Araya, you can see my artwork at arayaart.com. Follow me on Twitter at Paintagram or Instagram at Sam Araya Art, so you can see how this vampire later gets finished. God damn it, I cannot get to focus.
So cool.
Focus. Oh, there we go. So great. Kult, always inspiring. It's a great job as always as a DM. I just love it. I'm a loss for words, and also English is not my first language, so bear with me, okay?
Killed it, man. Killed it. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic, and it's man, this game just gets better and better. Every week it's more and more fun to see what trouble these guys can get themselves into. So next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Kult Divinity Lost Super Friends will be available on podcast as well, so you can binge listen through to the podcast version later on as well. But we're going to head off and play. Damn it! How am I doing this?
Do yourself well.
Did we lose Pruitt's outro?
We didn't even get.
What was I
away.
doing?
I don't
Didn't
know.
even get away.
We never got to
I was
say
doing the whole
goodbye.
outro thing. There was a whole thing.
Yeah.
There was this beautiful moment where I brought it all together.
No, it was right at the
And-
end. It was right at the end.
was-
Well, yeah,
Okay,
but
we
no,
got
no, it only switched over like it was right at the end of Sam talking. Did I notice that it switched?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I think you were still in the.
God, everybody.
My hat
We killed
killed
it.
me.
We fucking killed
Yep.
it. Anyone that says otherwise gets fucking banned. See you guys later.
Hey, I think we're like live right now. By the way, just so you know.
Oh,
Not right
you're
now.
like